the last part of this year's Heritage Day, but it's always such an uplifting place to be. And we're going to talk about our heritage heroes. We really want to take a moment to celebrate the incredible contribution that heritage volunteers right across the country give to this sector this year and every year. This year and every year, but particularly this year through our Heritage Hero Awards. So I am going to hand over to Peter and Faith, who will be giving the awards. But I think we start with a short video overall. So let's kick that video off, please.
For the last 11 years, the Heritage Alliance has recognised the fantastic work of organisations, professionals and volunteers in our sector, our Heritage Heroes, through these annual awards in partnership with Ecclesiastical Insurance. We have seen the extraordinary passion our sector displays, the time freely given to heritage projects and the supportive nature of our volunteers and organisations, from individuals passionate about the role of churches as a hub for communities, to the restoration of barns and saving of special maritime vessels from extinction. Our sector has an incredible breadth and showcases just how important our heritage is to our health, well-being, sense of community and happiness. Heritage volunteers are a key to the success of our sector, and the COVID-19 pandemic has made this more clear than ever. Volunteers bring so much passion and knowledge to their roles, and in turn, we know volunteering brings happiness and satisfaction to so many across the country. During the pandemic, volunteers played a vital role in protecting the UK's heritage. From caring for rural heritage sites and checking in on empty heritage buildings during lockdown, to devising new ways of working remotely and sharing our heritage across new mediums, volunteers' skills, passion, and commitment have proven to be more crucial than ever before. So what makes a great heritage hero? It is an individual or group who pursue their passion for heritage selflessly, with courage and energy, are resilient in the face of knockbacks and challenges. What contribution does a heritage hero make to their community? Previous winner Mike Slynn's answer says it all. Heritage heroes provide the opportunity for the community and the population at large to use and enjoy a heritage asset or experience and feel a sense of well-being, happiness and community. This year, we adapted our awards to reflect the changes that the COVID-19 pandemic brought to our sector, so our categories look a bit different. First up, the Digital Heritage Hero. From events to collections and social activities, the whole world turned digital in 2020, and volunteers provided passion, innovation and support to enable heritage organisations to embrace technology and reach new audiences. This award is for a volunteer or group of volunteers who have made an outstanding contribution to supporting a heritage organisation or project digitally in 2020. The Heritage in Lockdown Hero. The heritage sector had to adapt at an incredibly fast pace this year, and volunteers have been critical in managing this change. As the nation remained in lockdown, heritage projects and spaces were essential contributors to our well-being. Heritage sites also needed to continue to be protected and cared for while staff, volunteers and visitors were unable to carry out normal activities. This award is for a significant achievement in supporting a heritage project or site during the COVID-19 pandemic by a volunteer or group of volunteers. This Supporting the Sector in Lockdown Hero. Individuals and teams in our organisations also did an admirable job in difficult circumstances to support the sector as organisations had to adapt to a completely new way of working and an uncertain future. This award is for a volunteer, staff member or team that has gone above and beyond to support the heritage sector during COVID-19. This year, we made an exception to the usual rules and have allowed this category to include staff due to their extraordinary commitment in challenging circumstances. This year, we have been inspired by the amazing craftspeople in our sector and have decided to showcase heritage craft in the design of our physical awards. We asked for help from Heritage Alliance member, the Society of Independent Roundabout Proprietors, and commissioned Joby Carter to make 3 unique awards. This year's award celebrates the traditional art of signwriting and fairground art, and is an acknowledgement of the passion and craftsmanship required to restore vintage rides and attractions. We received an unprecedented number of nominations this year. Across the breadth of the sector, volunteers showed ingenuity, passion, and perseverance. Here is a collage of the nominations. This year's finalists for the Heritage Heroes Awards are the Alexandra Palace litter-picking volunteers, who gave numerous and endless hours collecting 148 tons of rubbish to keep the parkland safe and clear for everyone to enjoy. English Heritage's North Lee Roman Villa volunteers, a newly formed group who worked tirelessly in promoting their site as a resource for well-being and education for the community and themselves, leading to a doubling of visitor numbers and donations increasing 6-fold. Churches Conservation Trust volunteers Astrid Gillespie and Paul Hamilton showed resilience and ingenuity when their beautiful church, All Saints in East Hornton, made the news when an illegal rave was held in the church. The rave resulted in damage to the fabric of the building and significant litter. Their quick thinking in setting up a Just Giving page and advertising it through Facebook enabled them to smash their initial funding target of £2,000 and raised over 20 times that through over 1,120 public donations. Heritage Lincolnshire volunteer David Hagan for his work at Holbeach Royal Observer Corps Underground Monitoring Post. David worked tirelessly to ensure that the heritage site could stay open. His enthusiasm and passion led to 100% positive feedback in visitor engagement forums. English Heritage's Head of Safety and Risk, Alex Page, who showed extraordinary leadership and fortitude in advising both English Heritage and the wider sector throughout the crisis, and his role as chair of the Safety in the Historic Built Environment Group. Churches Conservation Trust volunteer Alex Clark, as part of the 1719 Cabinet of Curiosity team, combined his passion for history and heritage with a digital acumen, reaching local Sunderland communities and making sure their voices were heard. He took part in the Churches Conservation Trust digital picnics, providing historical context and well-researched questions to discuss men's mental health. The David Parr House volunteer house guides used great creativity to convert their fully booked program of tours in 2020 to a digital offer, which allowed the site to continue to generate income. The volunteers undertook training to become digitally led house guides. Thanks to their passion and hard work, the house continued to offer colourful, personalised tours while also opening up new content to a wider range of people.
So I'm delighted to announce that this year's Digital Heritage Heroes are the Churches Conservation Trust volunteers Astrid Gillespie, Paul Hamilton, and the Friends Group of All Saints East Horndon. Astrid and Paul impressed the jury panel with their quick thinking and their resilience in the face of the illegal rave that took place in their church on New Year's Eve. Their communications campaign raised the profile of their church and religious heritage both nationally and internationally. Through their digital fundraising efforts, they were able to not only carry out the repairs needed, but to address additional conservation works. Dedicated volunteers at the church for a number of years, they truly show how Heritage Heroes can use their ingenuity, their passion and commitment for heritage to engage communities to move mountains in the face of adversity. We would also like to offer commendations to Church Conservation Trust volunteer Alex Clark and the David Parr House volunteer House Guides. But let's now learn a little bit more about Astrid, Paul and the Friends Group of All Saints East Horndon.
Hello, my name is Astrid Gillespie and I represent the Friends of All Saints of East Horndon in Essex. We just want to say a massive thank you for being awarded the Heritage Hero Digital Award for 2021. You may have heard that All Saints East Horndon was used for an illegal rave on New Year's Eve, which was just a terrible and shocking event. You know, not only because of COVID and all the restrictions and everyone's in lockdown and hundreds of people decided to have a party there, but also the desecration and the damage caused to this beautiful old building. You know, we love our heritage and we want to protect it for us and for future generations. So we needed to reach people and to start raising some money to cover the damage of the rave. So we used the internet to basically reach people. I set up a Just Giving page, which I shared on Facebook and on local Facebook groups and put it on our own website. So if it hadn't been for the internet and social media, we would not have been able to reach the people like we did. And we were absolutely astonished when we ended up raising over £22,000 when our target was only £2,000, which was just to cover the initial cleanup and the repairs. In normal times, we used the church for open days, for plays, for concerts, anything to bring the community in, really, to enjoy this beautiful building. So clearly we were not able to do that at all last year. We didn't expect to start this year in the way we had, but as is often the case, out of bad things, good things can come. Not that we clearly wanted the rave to happen at all, but good can come out of a bad situation. So we've raised now so much money, which is absolutely incredible. So we've been able to cover the cleanup and the repairs for the church. We'll be able to look at maintaining and getting the graveyard in order, as well as doing a full review of the building and looking at any other repairs that we can do to the, to the roof, to the walls, etc. So it just means so much to be awarded this award and to have the support of the Heritage Alliance behind us and the general public. We were just absolutely overwhelmed with the love and support from everyone. So to think that a bad incident like this can bring forth so much love and support is absolutely incredible. So thank you again on behalf of the Friends of All Saints of East Horndon.
Hello, is it my turn to do the next one?
Yes.
Okay, the next one, that was fantastic, by the way, and thank you so much, Essex and the CCT, for coping with all of that. The next one is the Heritage in Lockdown. Now, okay, this is a new award. We haven't had lockdown before, but I can tell you that the award goes to the Alexandra Parks littering picking volunteers. I know it's not very glamorous to pick up litter, but during lockdown, Alexandra Palace had a huge increase in the number of people who were visiting, and a lot of them didn't kind of leave their stuff, well, didn't take their stuff home. But the volunteers just picked it up. And I think that's a really, really helpful thing to have done for the heritage sector and for the Ali Pali as we know it. And therefore, they are the winners of this particular award. There were lots of other really good contenders. All that effort is commended. But also we've got a commendation to make, which is that the judges really liked the English Heritage North Lee Roman Villa, and the volunteers and David Hagan, who have made an outstanding contribution. But I think that in the end, we thought that litter picking was a valid part of heritage. And so thank you to them and congratulations.
Alexandra Park and Palace is situated overlooking London. It's a fantastic Grade 2, humongous listed building surrounded by 200 acres of parkland. It's 150 years old, and today it's doing exactly the same thing with amazing events and exhibitions and leisure activities. Coming into the pandemic, very quickly it was evident we had to close the palace to members of the public, and the immediate impact of that is a complete loss of income. And we rely on that income from the public visiting and enjoying themselves here to repair and restore the site forever. And without that income, we can't maintain it. Alexandra Park itself is an asset in its own right. It's an amazing green oasis for local people and attracts people from miles around. And the park was providing an amazing place for people to get out of their house for their hour a day. But we received over 5 million visits, which is 70% more than we would ordinarily have. And that had massive impact on the park, but the biggest one was the sheer volume of litter. We told people that we had no money and we were overwhelmed. And what happened was really stunning. And the local community, completely unprompted, just took it upon themselves to help.
The numbers of volunteers just grew and grew as the restrictions from lockdown were eased. People passing by would say, "I'd like to help with that." And soon there were over 100 people covering this very large 200-acre park to make sure that every day it was clean by the time people came back into it in the morning.
This is our beloved Ali Pali, and this is how people are leaving it. If you love this space and care for our community, please take your trash home.
Actually, to look back at the end of the session and look across the park and see it looking beautiful and clear of litter was very satisfying.
It just showed how much people care about this park.
It was just amazing to hear the stories, to see it on social media. And I can't explain just how much it meant to the whole team and the wider community that people just stepped up when they were needed to. Not knowing who all the volunteers are, we haven't been able to reach them all. And so the Heritage Heroes Award by the Heritage Alliance will really allow us to thank all the people that did step up and help and really show them and tell them how much they were appreciated. Alexandra Park and Palace.
Fantastic, thank you. And the next award we're going to announce is Supporting the Sector in Lockdown. The winner of the Supporting the Sector in Lockdown award goes to Alex Page, Chair of the Safety in the Historic Built Environments Group and Head of Safety and Risk at English Heritage. A real true heritage hero, the panel felt that Alex calmly grappled with the unknown as COVID-19 struck, sharing his expertise and advice on how to safely close sites to visitors, how to manage them during the lockdown and eventually reopen safely into a very different world. He has supported a network of heritage organisations across the UK, welcoming over 20 million visitors a year. He's shared his best practice and supported others struggling with the impacts of COVID-19. So huge congratulations to Alex Page, and we're going to hear a little bit more now.
When people are anxious or frightened, but they want to do their best, what they need is a still, small voice of calm, and Alex has that voice. Over the past year, he's worked tirelessly to keep up with the wave after wave of changing guidelines, and then quickly turned it into easy-to-follow advice. And this has been so reassuring for all those working to keep heritage sites open across the country. He's fed back into government their hundreds of detailed questions on all the quirky exceptions our heritage sites throw up. And that's helped to shine a light and give confidence and energy to people opening the doors to the public and ensuring that everyone was safe. Thank you, Alex. I'm sure you have never worked harder in your life, but you've been a real rock for so many people in turbulent times.
I'd really like to thank my colleagues for nominating me for this award. I'm very proud to be accepting it on behalf of my team, who've really helped keep on top of this ever-changing situation. Teamwork across English Heritage has been second to none over the last year, across every department and at every level. And I'd really like to thank the visitor-facing teams for making and keeping their sites COVID secure while offering an amazing visitor experience. Teamwork across the sector has also been inspirational, with people freely sharing their advice, opinions and best practice. And this award could have gone to a number of people, and I'd like to thank them for their insight and support. And finally, I'd like to thank Historic England for giving us the opportunity to feed into the sector guidelines, which was really useful. And they also answered so many tricky questions really quickly, so thank you. Obviously been a difficult year for many people, personally and professionally, whether you're on furlough, whether you're working from home or whether you're visitor facing. And it's really shaped what we've had to focus on over the course of the year. So more emphasis has gone on emergency planning and business continuity planning. More of a focus has gone on well-being. We've put more resources behind staff working from home. Security improvements have been made faster than they might have otherwise because of the increase in trespass, antisocial behaviour and conflict situations. And then our time was really dominated in the late spring as we were able to start planning to reopen our sites. And when that moment came, it was such a positive time for so many people, for our loyal members, for our visitors, for our staff and for our volunteers. And I remember being at Kenilworth Castle when the gates reopened again in June. It was such an emotional moment. In terms of 2021, obviously COVID-19 is still going to dominate and take up most of our time and be our top priority. We are very pleased to be opening a further 60 sites at the end of March, with more sites to follow in April and May, so we're busy supporting that process at the moment. Really looking forward to visiting those sites to see all of the good conservation work and all of the good capital investment project work that's been taking place over the last year, despite the pandemic. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and well done to everybody who has been nominated as a Heritage Hero and everybody who has won. Those are just some really inspirational stories. We have one more surprise Heritage Hero to recognize this year. Ben Cowell, Director General of Historic Houses, and now Ben Cowell OBE, is well known to many of us. Ben, I might ask you to turn your camera on. I'm sure you're out there somewhere. A sector leader in so many ways and on so many fora. Ben did step down at the end of 2020 as our long-serving and much-valued trustee and deputy chair of the Heritage Alliance. Throughout his time at the Alliance, he saw the induction of the new CEO, Lizzie, in 2016, and our new chair, Peter, in 2018. And he's been a valiant champion of the Alliance and the sector for 11 years. So we'd very much like to, well, the sector for much longer than 11 years, actually, if I might say so. So we'd very much like to recognize Ben's contribution today with a unique and special Heritage Hero Award. Thank you very, very much, Ben. And you're going to be getting one of those absolutely gorgeous signs for your wall that we saw in the first presentation, especially for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Ingrid, and thank you, everyone, actually, who's been helping this year, because you and Lizzie and Ian at Historic England and lots and lots and lots of people have been so helpful and supportive, and it's been a really tough year for everyone. So everyone needs one of these awards, but it's an honour to get this today. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben. You know, one of the things about the sector is the extent to which we've all pulled together. It's a proud year as well as a tough one. So thank you, Ben. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to hand back to Peter to close our day.